And okay, guys, we're live. A little later than planned, but it's the Pack Aftershow. I've got Jen in here. Hopswatch is going to be joining us for a few minutes, but he has to dart off in about 15, 20 minutes or so, I believe. He hasn't got long with us. Hoping a couple other people are going to join us. This is kind of going to be somewhat of just an open hangout for a say, but I will stress that if I don't know you or if no one in the chat knows you, you won't be getting in after what happened last time. It was one that I did like an open.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So
I haven't heard about that.
I got porn bombed last time I did an open hangout. I made that was my mistake though, and that's a lesson learned. I gave the link out to someone I probably shouldn't have given the link to, so that was my fault.
That's nasty. Yeah, that's awful.
So I had to delete the entire stream. I think Jen, you were in there when that happened, weren't you?
I was. It was disgusting.
Yeah. So yeah, though I'm gonna say, although this is open, if I don't know you or if nobody in the call knows you, you won't be getting a link to come in. I'm just sorry. That's just gonna have to wait. I'm gonna have to do things. I'm afraid from now on. So yeah, that was a heck of a conversation. It did go
a long time, but it was. I think it was worth it.
Oh, by the way, Dave, I have sent you a link just so you're aware.
Ilya was in as well when that happened.
Yeah, Ilya. I know Ilya was there. I think Ring may have been there. I'm trying to remember. I think Badger might have been there as well. Actually, I can't.
Yeah, I think it was Badger as well.
Everyone who was there. Great conversation tonight.
Amanda had just left. I think she just left.
Who's this guy? Hey, Dave.
Hey, Dave.
Hey.
Hey, Dave.
How are you keeping, my friends?
Pretty good up until Jen woke me up. I'm going to keep saying it. Until
you can give me shit all you like, Dave. I
disgraceful, Wally.
It's got to the point where in the past week or so I've just loitered in the live chat and haven't said anything. And as soon as John gets mentioned, or somebody says the word Dave, normally when they're talking about Critical Cripple, I'm like, then I make my appearance. But
this time it was all about you.
Summoned.
I'm just going to say to Ilya in the chat. Actually, you're kind of your own cult leader. You're the queen of the gynocracy, if you remember. For those who watch the Uncalled For, will get that joke. So,
I want to make an apology to Ilya. She did ask if I would do Uncalled For on Sunday, and I can't because I'm doing the interview with Dr. Cal. And sorry, Ilya, interviewing Dr. Cal is way more important than doing Uncalled For. I love your show and I love you, but I'm not turning that down for anything.
I think actually I've got to clear up. I think it's the Uncalled Foursome now. I don't want to dead name the.
The Uncalled Foursome, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes. Is there now a 5? So.
Yeah.
Yes, Queen of the Gynocracy.
They are brilliant.
What are they a show about? I don't think I know the show.
They do this on the iNetwork, which used to be the Shills. But it's generally that they look obviously where the Shills do a lot of debunking of like things like say flat Earth or anti-vaxxers or stuff like that. Ilya Side-Striking. Is it Vishanti? I think it's just joined.
Vishanti,
Global Mummy, and goddamn what Amy. Why was I struggling to think Amy Hogan? They take a lot of look at this sort of idiocy from misogynistic people on the internet, like these MGTOW people and the incels and whatever, would just rip them a new one.
And it's all from women's perspective because all the guests are also women. So It's a girls only show. It's a girls only show with an honorary bullinator.
They do occasionally have a guy. They've occasionally had a guy on, but it is mainly
it's mostly a women's show. So
cool.
Yeah.
That was the Uncalled Foursome.
Yes.
It's
quite late for us, but it's on Sunday nights. So it's probably it's probably about 12:30 your times. I think it starts about 11:30 my time. So
Okay.
7 o'clock in the morning for me, which is the same time I'm doing my interview.
So this one's going to be, Ilya's just saying this is going to be a bit more of a serious,
Wow.
because a lot of the time it's more light-hearted or whatever, but this is going to be a bit more of a serious one. I mean, you can't be funny about stuff like that at all. So
See if I can remember that.
Yeah, why don't you make Jeff an honorary girl for the night, and he can be one of your guests? Because I'm sure he'd love to speak about that.
Yeah, that'll be awfully late. I'm not working on Monday, but still.
Critical Cripples already made me an honorary Dave, which Mr. Worley here tried to veto. But I don't know if I could be an honorary girl at the same as well.
You got the hair.
I tried to veto it. Maybe I was a bit more of a purist. Yeah, it makes sense. I can't remember doing that.
Oh, thank you, Gary. Cheers, Ilya. If I can do that, I will do. As long as I'm.
There you go.
As long as I'm still in lockdown, I can do it. When I'm back to work, it's going to be a bit more difficult because I'll be needing to sleep at like sensible times, though. Because I'm not working at the moment because I'm on the NHS's like vulnerable list of like 1.5 million, like they've basically told to not go out. So
how far along? Because I remember you tweeting about the 12 weeks.
I'm about 8 or 9 weeks into that now. I'm hearing it could get extended. So
It was how far along are you? I thought it was about
pregnancy.
12 weeks.
Yeah. This is just having a bit of a
damn it, Jen,
going on. This is the first trimester. They haven't been told yet, but he's actually got 3 on the way. It's just he's in his first one at the minute. He's just had a
Mr. Manda.
liking for avocado or pickles or whatever pregnant women get addicted to. Anyway,
I love you, Jeff.
To be honest, the amount of weight I've put on during this thing.
I was drinking.
The amount of weight I've put on during this thing, I could as well be.
Well,
I was actually worried about how much weight I'd put on, but I've only put on a kilo and a half, so I'm actually pretty happy with that.
I actually feel I'm going to have to go out for some long walks before I go back to work, just to get again
back into it.
What I do is physical.
Let's get physical.
So you got our friend Junk Shop on tonight, then, Dave?
Yes. It's now 4 hours. Yeah.
Junk Shop is gorgeous. Yeah. They are amazing.
Yeah.
I think because I was in the chat to secular sexuality, just happened to be I think the only thing that was live, so I just like clicked on it. It's not something that I'd normally watch, and I immediately ended up typing into tell V that she's great, and I was like, oh no shit, I've misgendered her. Because I've completely every time somebody says the pronoun is they, I'm still trying to get used to it. I'm making an effort, but it's like it just doesn't come naturally. Because when I had V on, they at the time said yes to everything, every pronoun. So I defaulted to she, and now they have come forward as a strict they. And now it's like, okay, I'm gonna obviously have to change, but it's like, forgive me, I don't like. I'm not from a position of bigotry.
I should actually point out
pronouns are one of those things.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I'm quite often like catching myself with them. It's like, oops, But I wouldn't worry.
I'm going to say something that a lot of trans people.
I was going to say, Julie misgendered Junk Shop, and Julie's married to them.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Jen, like the white man is talking. Jen, come on, honestly,
shut the fuck up.
God.
There is
should know
a
better.
lag here. I think the lag
Yeah,
here.
this is a lag thing. I was going to say something that's not going to be popular with some trans people. If you've only recently transitioned or recently changed your pronouns and people are having a hard time with it, give them some leeway. Don't jump in their face initially. If after a few months of just talking with these people, they're not paying attention, yeah, go off your face at them. At that point, they probably deserve it. But to start off with, gentler is better, because if you get in people's faces initially and they are actually making an effort, all you're going to do is piss them off, and people don't respond well to being pissed off at you. So it goes both ways. If you expect people to be tolerant to you, you have to apply a little bit of tolerance back the other way. Of course, if you're pretty damn sure the person is just being an asshole, go for it.
By the way, Amiga Nuts, if you're okay with it, I've just added you as a mod because the sort of great job you were doing in Chris's chat today. So
Amiga Nuts is awesome.
Yeah, what's their Twitter? I'm not sure if I'm on. I tried to find their Twitter and I couldn't find it.
How about
show yourself?
Ring?
Yeah. Hello,
Ring.
Yes, we should.
Hey, Hop. Hey, David.
Hey, Ring.
Hello.
Hey, my lovely.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, Susan might come on Sunday night to talk Disney with us.
Who's this guy?
Hey, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Hey.
No, not. Oh God. I'm not in his channel. I'm not in his channel anymore.
So happy to see him.
You don't have to be nice anymore to any of us. You can give us all shit for waking you up.
Never had to be nice to start with.
Oh, sorry. You were saying.
I was literally in the sentence of saying Jeff's great, and you're probably saying it, so nobody heard it.
Probably the right time.
Yeah, fuck that up, Jeff.
Oh dear. How are we all?
We had a good show, Chris. It was a long one, but we had a good one. We had some awesome guests. Well, some of them were awesome.
Yeah.
No, you were all awesome.
That was a lot of fun. That was just good conversation. It was there was a lot that got into. That was at times it was very deep. It was very thinking. Other times it was just completely ridiculous and fun. And it was what it was. It was great.
And seriously, Dave, I can't even speak properly. Seriously, Dave, I don't think I can thank you and Ocean enough for coming on so last minute. I mean, you during the show, whilst the show was going, and Ocean only got asked like 20 minutes before we were due to go live. And yeah, it was amazing. We were down a guest, and you guys stepped up, and we had a brilliant show, a brilliant discussion. And thank you so much.
What's that about Ocean's eyesight? Did you say he got his eyesight back 2 hours before launch? Or what did you say? Did I hear that?
No, I said 20 minutes before the show went live was when I asked Ocean if he'd come on.
Okay. I must have misheard something.
No, it's probably my speech. I've had quite a lot to drink.
Fair enough. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. I would know, wouldn't I? Okay,
yeah, I've had a half a bottle of blue Curacao, so yeah.
So I'll be off in a few minutes. If I can just talk a little bit about what I'm doing.
I was going to ask you to do that. So, yeah, but please, floor is yours.
Cool. Because a couple of days ago, I released a new video about the cult leader that I've been following for the last half year, or almost a year now. The Danish cult leader Torben Søndergaard, who sought asylum in the United States. So he's got some new plans up. He wants to drive all the way through the United States in a motorhome convoy, so to say, set up tents everywhere and preach. Of course, in the middle of a pandemic. And in the videos where he explains all this, he constantly talks about how at the end of times, the true gospel needs to be preached, and when it has been preached to all nations, the world will come to an end. So he all the time when he talks about preaching, he combines it with this almost doomsday cult-like stuff. So I'm going to release. That was the video I've been scripting today, and I really want to make sure with that video that I think this guy is absolutely bonkers, and he wants to bring about the end of the world. It sounds to me, at least. So I think this man is fucking dangerous, and I'd appreciate anyone.
He is.
I appreciate anyone who would share that message. Not even necessarily by sharing my video, but if someone would also pick him up and pull him together and show how dangerous he is, I think I would really appreciate that, because it needs to come up there.
Yeah, I'd actually refer you to the interview that Hopswatch did on Dave's channel, because you talked about this guy at quite some length, if I remember. So that's well worth watching. And
I also had I also appeared on the Bible Belt's Atheist channel, and that was a discussion particularly about him. And I also had a conversation with Shane Isgrig on my own channel about him. And those would be the best places to go to quickly gain some knowledge about him. There's also a very fine Rational Wiki page where you can read more. Just look up his name, Torben Sondergaard. Yeah, and just to say, I mean, I think it's pretty serious, and it's pretty urgent that people take him seriously as the menace to society that he actually is.
Yeah,
it's not funny anymore.
Yeah, he is actually. He really is.
Like coming from a, this is coming from a, former Pentecostal. He's like one or two steps away from going full snake handler.
Go what? Again?
From going full snake handler.
Oh yeah. Well, more than that, actually. I think he's few steps from going Jim Jones or something, or maybe not a few steps, but fewer steps than one might think at first glance, because he doesn't seem dangerous, being quirky and kind of funny as he is, and well, to an extent lovable, but he's none of that. I mean, he's batshit. So I've got things to do, so I'll jump now.
Thanks, sir. Thanks for jumping in. You're always welcome.
Good to see you,
know that. So,
see you.
Yeah, like I said, links his channels there in the chat. Please go check Hopswatch out. So
now I'm also going to have to be a quick in and out tonight because it's just gone 1 o'clock here. So. Unfortunately for me, I know, typical, isn't it? Unfortunately for me, I've got a 3-year-old who will be jumping on me in 5 hours' time, whether I like it or not. So I'm going to go and get that beauty sleep that I clearly need badly. So thank you.
I want to share something with you, Chris. I had a creationist, not young Earth creationist, but a creationist nonetheless. Come up with an odd argument today where he claimed that North was an objective truth.
What?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's a big one to go on. He was trying to use it as an example of there are some objective truths in the world. And I said, no, North is purely arbitrary. It's a social construct. And we construct these ideas, and North could have been South, or North could have been blip. It doesn't matter. It's just a word.
Also, like, without a gravity well / magnetosphere to orient with, there is no North.
Well, technically, I mean, we call it that because it's our social convention, but it means. I mean, effectively, once you're in space, it means nothing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So it's like flat Earth is saying there's an up or a down, because effectively there isn't. It's only that we have a social convention and a scientific convention of that.
Remember, The enemy's gate is down.
I just love the whole thing. It's an absolute. It's not an absolute
in
treat.
Australia.
And yet you worst example you could have given.
By the way, Megan Nuts,
Sorry,
Megan Nuts, I love what you put at the bottom of that comment there. By the way, the man who humbled Darth.
Oh, Megan Nuts, you are amazing. You're gonna give Dave a run for his money.
Oh, Dave who? Oh,
Dave.
Yeah,
where is? No, Dave's working.
Yeah, where is
That's why
Critical
Dave's.
Cripple?
Yeah.
He's
Dave's
working.
busy today. Because hence we'd normally be. We're doing this as opposed to critical questions today. Because so which would normally be going on after 6-pack. So
It probably worked out well though because it was a good show to go long.
Yeah,
it was. Actually.
It was brilliant. You had brilliant guests. I will keep saying that. Thank you, Dave. And Ocean, who's not here, but
the conversations.
Yeah,
it was such a. It went in a direction I wasn't expecting it to, which they're always the best ones when it sort of goes down all these different rabbit holes. But far out, it was just. I enjoyed it so much, and you know, I'm thinking if I'm enjoying it, sitting back and listening to it and watching it, I'm hoping everyone else did. And hopefully people got something out of it because I think there was a message there that I did want to sort of get out, which was, hey, don't treat atheism like the religion you've just left. And hopefully that message gets out there a little bit and the whole discussion was very organic. It moved with it. In the right flows, and even with Dave coming in after the discussion went past his and bringing it back, it felt natural. It worked well. It was just brilliant, and it was great.
And when all the viewers went down when I joined and all that.
Sorry, no, I didn't.
Yeah, there was a massive dip. There was, I was getting people saying, "Why have you got Wally on? Get rid of him! Get rid of him!" And I had to say, look, John Lance, it's okay. He won't be on for long. Come back to me. Bring everyone back. It's all right, buddies. Incidentally, the funniest thing happened. John Richards started following me on Twitter, and he started liking all my posts and commenting here and there. And I'm just like, okay. All right, this is weird. When I offered to interview him and tried to do all that, nothing, no response. But now all of a sudden he's kind of becoming the creepy old stalker dude. So
you might get that interview out of him now. Ilya, my lovely.
I'd like to because I'd probably smack him on a few things, but in my way. Hey.
And I'm sorry about Sunday, Ilya, but.
No, it's totally okay. We changed what our show was going to be about. Initially on Sunday, we were going to cover some more basic incel MGTOW rhetoric, right? But we came across the story out of Toronto where a terrorist attack took place at a spa and people were killed. And so I started deep diving into it. And I found stories back to 1989. So it's going to be a different type of show. We're not doing our normal intro and outro. We're going to be doing some memorial.
Where was that, Ilya?
Which story? There was a lot. Let me look here.
I'm gonna quickly just say goodbye. I will catch you all. Thank you all so much, and we'll do it again soon.
Thanks.
Bye, Chris.
Take care, Chris.
Cheers.
Thanks for having me.
Bye, Chris. So we are covering right now. It looks like there's stories that have well over probably close to 250 victims in total based on all the stories. Primarily women. There are some men as well. There's a couple that are also neo-Nazis and part of the alt-right movement. So that's why there's also men involved. But we have probably enough information, data, studies at this point to fill up 2 full 2-hour shows. I mean, it's just there's that stuff.
So you're going to do it over 2 weeks?
No, we're going to do it in just the one. Vashanti and I have decided to divide and conquer. I'm going to do a PowerPoint on all of the stories based on the headlines. And then she is taking the studies that have been done, the sociology and psychology studies that have been done on the incel movement, and she's creating a separate PowerPoint with the major pieces of those. And so I'll present the first PowerPoint with conversation, of course, from the panel, and then she'll present the second one. And we also found a video that's kind of like a news clip that explains the incel movement and the terrorist attacks. And then we're also taking all of the images of the victims and the memorials and creating some really nice videos out of those as well, just to play throughout. And then so that Sunday, it's definitely going to be a heavier show. Doing the research, being a victim myself of assault, it has been extremely triggering. I'm not even going to lie to you. It's been very triggering. But I think it's important enough to push through so we can talk about this. And then, but I'll have my fun-filled stream tomorrow with my show.
I was going to ask you to plug that. I'm going to actually stick the link to this in the chat, but you've recently started a new channel with Punchy, which I watched the first one. I watched the first one last Saturday. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Tomorrow we are debunking ghosts, apparitions, psychics, mediums, all that fun stuff. So, of course, we're doing it in a satirical way. So it's funny. It's a point and laugh kind of show. And we talk about the Photoshop and the video.
Hang on, the incel's not this weekend. It's the one after.
No. This is mine and Punchy's show. Because
this is yours and Punchy's show. So, sorry, I was answering a Twitter.
No, it's okay. Like, because Punchy and I now have a show where we've created our own channel just to talk about scary, spooky conspiracies and stories. And then, of course,
that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were creating it, but it does really sound like fun. Like that.
That reminds me, did you hear about the diminutive ghost whisperer who escaped from prison?
What?
Oh, come on.
The headline said, small, medium at large.
Well, we are actually going to, part of mine and Punchy's show, not only is it supposed to be satirical and fun and just have a good few laughs, but I mean, I think everyone knows by now that Punchy and I are together. And so when we meet...
I'd never have guessed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, funny that.
Well, I've got my plane ticket and plans. I'm flying up there in September, and there is a couple of places that are quote unquote haunted. And we're going to go do some self-investigation and do a couple of these self-investigation and debunkings in real life, video it, and then we're going to create a Halloween special out of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is Ilya and Punchy's stupidly creepy show. Go give them a sub, guys. Let's get them to 100 subs before tomorrow, okay? So everyone go give them a sub.
I mean, we are 12. I think we're 12 away from 100.
Yeah, they're
11 now.
I think I've already subbed. I've just said I'm subbed. But...
Yeah, it's too late. I subbed when you announced it.
Oh,
yeah, I already was subbed.
I think I was subbed before the first video went up, to be honest. So.
We've only had one video and we're already almost at 100 subs. So, you know, it's really, really cool that this community really supports everybody. It's really special, you know, because this was our first time creating a show together, and it was really cool to see all the support we got from all different little subsets of this greater community. So it was really cool.
Yeah, I mean that was a lot of fun, that Siren Head thing last week.
Siren Head is hilarious. Oh my gosh. So a Siren Head is a quote unquote, it's a fictional character that was created out of the SCP, but at the same time people now are showing real life footage of Siren Head. So it's really funny.
I still maintain that the flying spaghetti monster could take him.
Probably.
I mean, there actually has been sightings of the flying spaghetti monster. So
I know I've seen it before too online where people are posting pictures.
So,
ramen.
We could. That could be like a fantasy warfare kind of little thing, couldn't it? You know, Siren Head versus flying spaghetti monster, and you know.
Well, when we do Cthulhu or Cthulhu, whatever the name is of the place. But yeah,
Cthulhu, is that how it's pronounced? I can't.
Yeah, Cthulhu.
Cthulhu. When we do Cthulhu, how about you be our guest, Jeff?
That could
since
be an
you
idea.
love it. Yeah.
That could be an idea.
Cthulhu is awesome. The Call of Cthulhu, any of that is awesome.
Yes. We're doing dating horror stories next week, like terror with dating. And we have Schrodinger's cat and Amy Hogan coming on next week. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
and, for your show on the weekend, do contact the person I sent you the name for, because you already have, because Katie is an activist and she knows an awful lot of stuff. So
yeah, I messaged her and just said, hey, I received your information from Jen from Jen's Little Corner. This is what we're doing. We'd like to have you on as a guest sometime. If this Sunday's too soon, let us know when you're available. So for sure.
Nice.
Cool. But yeah, so I mean, so if you want something obviously a bit more serious this weekend, and I do think stuff like that needs to be, when you do the serious stuff on the Uncalled Foursome, you know, this stuff does need to be highlighted as well as you know, just ripping down the idiots. I mean, I think we kind of I think we sort of got talking to one another because of a mutual enemy, I think, earlier, whose name we're not going to mention. We'll just call him VD.
There are so
boy.
many of them, Jeff.
I don't know. I don't know exactly how we met.
Private. Yeah. I think that's how I ended up on the shills anyway, because I put a couple of responses to that idiot.
I think it was the chills that we met through. Yeah. I mean, I know we follow and conversate in other areas of the community, but at the same time, I think it really was because I was asked to come on to the shills and the I network back, gosh, at the end of last year when Dick Dawson and Amy approached me and asked me if I would like to join. So I did. And I've met a lot of people just through that. I think I've met Jen's Little Corner through that. I mean, I think, it just comes with.
Yeah, I think we did earlier. I'm wondering, was it that, or was it through Jay, or?
It could have been through Jay too. Yeah, because
it might have been through Jay, because I think we first met on a facepalm, one of Jay's facepalm packs.
No, it was Bull. It was Bull.
Oh, it was Bull. Yes, it was on Bull's chat.
Yeah, Bull had a live chat. And
on one of his very rare streams.
Yes. And he invited me in. I remember that now because we got to talking about how I found this community, and it was through Red's Rhetoric because I have a thing for space. So
yeah.
Well, that was the common theory going around last week about Siren Head, that it's actually Red's Rhetoric.
Yeah.
It was
really? What?
Well, it's just like because it's got Siren Head's got this very hideously ugly head, and he's very tall. Now, Red's from what I've heard is quite a tall guy. Just saying.
He's 6'4", isn't he?
Something like that, yeah. So I've been told he's very, very. So I'm not saying Red's is Siren Head. I'm just saying nobody's seen Siren Head and Red's Rhetoric in the same place at the same time. Just saying.
You're just saying that we just don't know.
Yeah.
It's very true. I mean, they're both really tall and apparently really hideous. So we
could say the same for Jeff and the Queen, really.
well, yeah, but it doesn't work quite well.
Hair.
Yeah.
Whoa there.
Yeah.
On that note of offence, I'm gonna leave. No, I was gonna say I have to head out anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
There is Dave.
Take care.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
See you later, my friend.
Bye.
Oh wow, we're only 9 away from 100 subs. Woo!
Yeah, well,
awesome.
Well, anything I could do to help in the meantime there whilst you were on earlier. So, but yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of that stream. Like, it's just a lot of fun.
Punchy is a lot of fun, and I think the thing that people, because Punchy isn't on any channel, right? He is just a good moderator that's in a lot of side chats and very interactive. What people don't know is Punchy is extraordinarily witty and smart. So when he is so smart, like,
Yeah.
and he could probably debunk flat Earth better than some debunkers I've seen. So he's just so smart. And so when we get on these when we get on our shows like this and we're talking through things, he literally can just whip it out and just throw stuff out really quickly. Oh gosh, phrasing. I know. Sorry. Sorry.
Yeah,
he literally could just pull things out of his brain that make sense to help debunk, but in a funny way. He's just very good like that, right? So, I mean, honestly, it's really an honor to be working with him because he is, he is so much smarter than most people realize.
I've been on quite a few streams with Punchy, with Jay, and Punchy is awesome, and I love him to bits. You two are such a good fit.
Thank you.
Yeah. I still maintain, though, that the best debunker of flat Earth going is Ranty.
Yeah.
That was so much fun.
Yeah, we did a rip. Funny enough, Conspiracy Cats did the same, pretty much the same thing as we went through as a response to.
But we beat him to it.
We beat him to his own
by a week.
We beat him by a week to his own.
And I linked that to him, so I reckon he got the idea.
Ranty not knowing how to use Google Earth. just. Oh, I mean, the amount of times Ranty has face planted is just brilliant. And then just
over and over.
Oh.
But they all do it. There is not a single one of them who doesn't face plant. They are absolutely dreadful for it.
And then the funny one was then there was that drama with him and Riley, wasn't there, over the last few weeks, which is just hilarious seeing them fight amongst themselves. Makes a change from our community being the one fighting amongst themselves.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So, I'm going to step away for 2 minutes. Do you want to keep the thing going for chat going a bit, Jen?
Yeah, we can keep the chat going.
I trust you not to do what that other guy did. Well,
for one thing, I don't have a penis, so
yes.
I've got. I do have.
Damn it, Jed!
I do have one of them, but it's not quite the same.
Damn it, Jen! Right, I'll be back in 2.
No worries. So Star Wars tomorrow night again.
Yep. Or Sunday night your time, Sunday morning mine.
Yeah. So was it for you? Is that 7? Is it
8.
7 Mountain Time? 8 Mountain Time.
Yep.
So yeah. So people should tune into that. This should be a shit show because Badger will be on. And we are going to be talking
actually
Disney
Badger's sitting out on this one.
Oh, that's not what he told me the other day.
Really?
Yeah. He said so when did he say he was sitting out?
See, I always, as far as I know, like the plan was always he was going to sit out on this one.
No. I spoke to him the other day and he said, no, I'm going to do this because I have to put forward my opinion. So if you want to see a shit show,
yeah,
a complete dumpster fire,
yeah,
come and see the Star Wars discussion about Disney Star Wars on Ring's channel. So it should be a lot of fun. So yeah, and that's Sunday night. Sunday night for me. Sunday morning for you guys in the US, and Sunday afternoon for anyone in the UK. So as we said, 8 o'clock Mountain Time. So
yeah. So if you need a good, it'll be about 3 p.m. GMT.
Yes. I've had a lot to drink.
Well, that's the one time zone that I can get down.
You should be able to. I'd be a bit worried if you couldn't.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
Hissy might
and
have words to
everybody,
say with-
a lot of people, base their stuff off GMT, so it's a good one to use anyways.
Oh, we've already got people talking Star Wars in the chat.
Yeah.
See, that was good.
Yeah, and I actually finished, or I actually watched Rise of Skywalkers, so I'm actually prepared.
Oh, no, I'm not going to ask you what you thought. That's for tomorrow. Tomorrow, Sunday, I mean.
Yeah, that's for Sunday.
That's for Sunday. We're not getting opinions on it now. The chat is welcome to their opinions, because any feedback we get from the chat is always good.
Yeah. Is the game still on for next week?
It should be. I'm sorry I haven't finished off getting things ready for it, but I've got a week still, so it should be ready.
Yeah.
I used to write entire adventures in 1 week. I'm pretty sure I can finish one off in a week.
Well, I've not been kicked off the internet site yet, so that's a good indicator that you didn't do anything whilst I was away.
What? You still got 11 viewers.
Yeah.
I hate that I have to run, but that work call was something that I have to go and take care of now because people don't know how to do their jobs. But it's okay.
Love you, hon.
I love you guys, and I will see you later. Bye.
See you later. Bye. I'll just see who's in the chat. Seraphim, do you want to come in?
Yeah, come in, Seraphim.
Yeah, and Seraphim.
I'll send Seraphim the link if she wants to jump in.
Every Sunday, this month on my Sunday show has been all about Star Wars, starting from the original trilogy to the prequels. Last week we did the expanded universe, and this week we're tackling Disney. And then next week is going to be a Star Wars one-shot.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I've got to find out when it is.
I'll have to. I was thinking I should probably put some guns into.
I haven't found out when it exactly it is on. Not this Sunday, but the following Sunday. But I'm actually talking to a couple of the stars of one of the Superman movies.
Oh, really? On your channel?
No, unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, I could. But I was just in I just was invited for a friend really, who bought some online thing or whatever, and couldn't. Like it said, so yeah, do you want to do this thing? Okay, whatever. But we talking to, is it Jack O'Halloran and Sarah Douglas? Who I don't know if you know, if you remember Superman 2, they were General Zod's. If you remember Superman 2, they played General Zod's minions, yeah. So I think that could be interesting just to talk. I mean, if I could get them on the channel, that'd be fucking awesome. But I just don't think I think I'd be asking too much. But I'm going to be in a private call with them.
Guess who I just sent a link to with a comment? We're actually talking Star Wars. Badger, mushroom.
Tell them
I
Sarah
just like hearing him rant, so I'm okay.
What was that?
Yeah, I was muted. My kitten muted me. I like hearing him rant, so I'm okay with that.
Oh, I'm okay with that too.
I love your rant.
Hold on.
Oh yes, here you go. I have been summoned. He says, "Yeah, we were just talking about." I was just discussing actually whether or not I should have Gungans in the one-shot Star Wars D&D game. So,
I have never done Star Wars D&D. I have a friend who does that. The only Star Wars I do is role play, like text-based, because I'm a nerd.
Oh, okay. So wait.
Yeah.
What's wrong with being a nerd? Nerd is good.
Nerds are hot. hot. I'm just saying.
I've sent you the link, Badger,
Yes,
if you want
we
to
are.
jump in.
Like, I think I'm melting right now anyway, because it's so fucking hot here in Georgia.
Oh, I already did that, Jeff. That's how he got summoned.
Badger thought,
But yeah, I mean, Disney Star Wars is okay. I mean, as
the
much as
controversial
that,
I don't
you're out
like
of the
the
way now.
movies, but I will give them one thing. The park is amazing. I got to go to it, and like there are tons of pictures from it.
oh,
Thankfully, I got to
well,
go
Disney
before
do
my
make good
prom break.
parks. But I mean, you can't. Mandalorian is brilliant.
It is. I love Mandalorian, but I like the Mandalorians in general.
But what
So-
about Rogue One is good. Hans the Han Solo movie is okay-ish. It has some fundamental problems, but it's okay-ish. The first of the Disney Star Wars movies has some fundamental problems, but it's okay. The second movie is a load of absolute shit.
To be honest, the Last Jedi is where it really fell off the fucking deep end.
Oh,
didn't
it did. It fell off the fucking. It should have fallen off. The planet.
I'm of the opinion. I think similar to what you and Chris have said about Episode 9. I think they did as good a job as they could have done tidying up the mess of Episode 8. But it still was a lot of issues. But I think what had gone
They
before
could have done it better. They
Oh,
actually could have done it better. They could have said,
I'll
"We're
save
going
my
to do 4
opinions
movies."
I'll
I
save
think-
my opinions on episode 9 for Sunday.
I think this
Yeah.
is actually a conversation best had for Media Musings on One Ring's channel this
Yeah.
Sunday.
Now, what time is this Sunday? And what time zone?
8 a.m. Mountain Time.
It's usually
Translate
about
that.
It's usually about 3ish.
10 a.m. Eastern Standard.
Okay, so I will be off of work at that time, so I will try to remember to do it unless someone wants to poke me because I
And you're
have
not
shit
there.
memory. I have the worst
Badger, I
memory.
love you, and you know I'm just giving you shit. But I mean, in all honesty, if they had never made that middle movie, if we'd had a better middle movie, I think I could have forgiven most of the crap that Disney went through. But that middle movie is just so shit, and it makes it really hard. They could have done a lot better with what happened if they'd said, "Hey, we're going to make the trilogy, our trilogy 4 movies." In 2 movies, they might have been able to fix the crap that they'd done. There might have been some way to ride around it and correct things and not have it feel like it was just rushed into place to solve issues that they created. Because I think we lost a lot of story in what J.J. Abrams had to do to try and work around the crap that was Episode 8.
You see what we started here.
Nerd Rage is so cute. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I should post my pictures from Disney on like Twitter or something so people can see how hideous I am.
Well,
Yeah, I am agreeing with Nikki. That hyperspace ramming was absolutely bullshit. That it's like, just go fuck off with that. That's the dumbest thing you could have ever come up with. I mean, they could have done a ramming without the hyperspace bit anyway. I mean, what was the whole point in it?
I haven't watched any of them
Okay.
past the first Disney movie because I didn't like it that much. So I
And
can't
Ben
actually.
really wants us to shut up because this is the discussion for tomorrow.
So
So
I will give one teaser for Sunday. I think they did one good thing in episode 8.
What was that?
You'll have to watch on Sunday to find out.
It's the one good thing that they do in episode 8. Okay, so we have to tune in to find out what Ring thinks the one good thing they did in episode 8. I can tell you what I think the one good thing is of episode 8 when it fucking ended.
So if I'm not there on Sunday, someone like message me on Twitter and tell me what it is because I'll want to know.
I'll message you before it goes.
I'll just say, Nikki Daly, do you want to come in at all?
I already asked Nikki. She's busy and can't.
Oh, okay, never mind.
But you have a link, Badger. If you want to come in and give me shit, you can come in and come on.
Or you can come talk to me, Badger.
Yeah,
come and talk to us. Let's talk about. Somebody brought up Star Trek. Wes brought up Star Trek. I'm a Star Trek officer, not a Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And have you ever noticed how every doctor in Star Trek after McCoy has always said, "I'm a doctor, not a something or other." It's become a cliche in and of itself.
Ring, I sense an impression coming.
I don't think Flux has said it.
Well, but technically, even though his show came later, he was a doctor before McCoy.
I see what you did there.
Timelines.
Yeah.
But yes, now I want to hear Kent Hovind say, "I'm a young Earth creationist, not a doctor."
I'm not a doctor. I'm a doctor, not a...
That would be amazing.
Yeah. Now, I'm a young Earth creationist, not a doctor. So you're going to have to find someone else to give little Jimmy CPR.
Oh, I do.
Oh my god!
I do.
It hasn't been long enough to make that joke.
Guys, I do believe we have a badger with us.
Badger!
Hi, Badger. Holy
Hi,
shit, I
Badger.
just noticed the time. I've been playing my video games since I got off work. Whoopsie.
Where's our Badger?
Where's our badger? I see him in like my chat back here, but he's not up on screen for some reason.
I see his name.
Very big.
Very big.
Hello, Badger.
Hello, badger.
Hello, sweetie.
We will let you have a rant.
Right, you lot. Right, you lot. I've got some words for you. Disney is non-fucking canon. Legends is the only true continuity. That's where all the good stories are. Don't go giving me any of that bullshit about The Force Awakens was good. Yeah, it might have been good if they hadn't put Star Wars on it. If they just had it there,
I think you're just bigoted against mice.
If they had it there, look at the well, Nerdy can fuck off as well because he keeps bringing up Jar Jar. So if you have a completely separate Force Awakens that just looks a bit like Star Wars but isn't, then it might have been fine. But no, they want to go and replace the fucking good Solo children with some bullshit whiny knowhead.
To be fair, it seems to be normal that Skywalker children are whiny.
Kylo is a cheap rip-off of Jason Solo, and Rey is a cheap rip-off of Jaina Solo.
He kind of is a rip-off of Darth Kydus, really, isn't he?
Right. Now that being said, hyperspace ramming is stupid.
Oh! That wasn't me. That one was not me.
Here, sweet zombie Jesus. That's just...
together we can rule the galaxy.
Oh, Rig, that's perfect.
I was actually trying. I was actually going to save that for Sunday.
I'm still muted. I got one thing to say to this, Mouse. So why must you become dead?
All we're missing is Jar Jar.
Misa, no, what you're talking about? Oh, that wasn't very good, actually.
Ironic.
It still hurt my brain.
Yeah,
Ironic.
very good one.
He could save other franchises from irrelevancy, but not himself.
Nikki said, Yu Zong Fong and Solo Children's what I wish Disney made.
You know,
Yeah, I think we all agree with
Honestly,
it would have been
I
better.
kind of wish Disney hadn't have brought any of them up at all. Maybe side referenced Luke and Leia and had them appear briefly, but done a story about an entirely different set of people. Not gone on with not follow on in that way. Go and do the stuff they were planning on doing after this. Not do this, because it would have made more sense, especially the time frame they're talking about.
It would have made more sense, but then they think that they wouldn't have gotten enough people to view it because people will view what they're familiar
Look at the
with.
people who watch The Mandalorian and everything else. People went and watched. If they hadn't trod on what was already there, it would have been brilliant.
That's
They
true.
should have done is what they started doing with The Mandalorian and just have it completely unconnected to anything else.
Oh yeah,
But
they're
then
going to be
went and
connecting it,
fucked
aren't
that
they?
up.
Yeah, they're starting connected, aren't they, for the second season?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, it's like it's really cool as a character.
have a massive problem with that. There's a massive problem with that. Just The Mandalorian works because it's not connected to anything else, so it can bring all the fans of the different things together. You can go, oh look, it's fun Star Wars, and it doesn't fuck any of your Legends stuff up. It doesn't fuck any of your other stuff up. Oh look, we're going to fuck everything up now, and then nobody's going to be happy.
I will say, of the Disney Star Wars that I've seen, The Mandalorian has felt the most like Star Wars.
It does feel like Star Wars. I think it feels entirely like Star Wars. It's very Star Wars. I actually think Rogue One was very Star Wars.
I enjoyed Rogue One.
Problems with the storyline.
I thought it was a good movie.
Same as Solo. Solo felt good, but it has issues as well.
I liked Rogue One, and I watched it because my friend who likes the Star Wars only because of the Force. And I'm like, oh, you don't like it, so I'm going to watch this because that sounds like it's something I'd probably like.
Rogue One was okay. There was a really good bit at the end of it with Vader, and there was some good stuff during it, but that's not how they got the Death Star plans.
No, it's not, but still.
See, yeah, Disney could have gone on stories like if they'd gone down the route that Luke was in charge of the new Jedi Order and they've got a new training thing for young Jedi, you could have had a whole heap of stories. Had Luke appear occasionally, have Leia appear occasionally, and you know that these other characters exist in the background, but just have this story that's going on in the same universe. And I would have been fine with that.
Unfortunately, how real life ended up progressing, we wouldn't have had much of Leia.
No, we wouldn't. That's easier to deal with if you're not centralizing her as a main character.
Yeah.
Hold on, Badger, you're doing that thing again with that. I don't know what. I don't know why it happens, but I just know. I don't know why it happens, but you is kind of getting that in my ear.
Disney Star Wars in a parallel universe far, far away.
Yeah.
In our fan fiction, far, far away.
Yeah, we should be doing this on Sunday, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think really, it's not that I don't love talking about Star Wars or that, but I don't want to just go through everything that we're going to go through on Sunday with Rings channel anyway. So
yeah. That's why I've
we
been
could
mostly
rediscuss some of the things for the extended universe and things we've already covered.
Yeah.
Without touching on the House of Mouse.
Okay.
See, I think it needs to be talked about because it exists now. So, but
yeah, no, I agree with you.
What you'll get from me is absolutely everything that's wrong with it, both from the perspective of someone who insists that Legends is the only Star Wars, and from the perspective of picking holes in every little plot point that I can possibly lay my hands on.
Yeah, so basically you're gonna cinema sins it.
Cinema shits it, maybe.
Nikki, I just saw this comment. Nikki, be careful what you wish for there. You might get it. Disney.
Disney aren't past retconning their own shit, so it's
be careful.
impossible.
Be careful what you wish for. They might, knowing them, they might decide to flipping retcon all of Star Wars and do a reboot. You don't know what they might be capable of.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
I wouldn't be surprised.
They've already tried to retcon all of Star Wars. Look what they've tried doing with Legends.
Yeah.
So, well, let's
A
talk
lot-
about
a lot
earlier
of-
Star Wars
a lot
because
of
we've
people don't
covered
know-
that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people. I said, unfortunately, like I said, we said this argument before, but a lot of people don't even know Legends exists. It's a sad reality of it. I mean, if you're into Star Wars, like big way, yes, you're going to know all about it. But look, they care more about the casual audience than like the diehard.
Yeah,
diehards.
because the casual audience is much, is bigger, obviously.
Well, the casual audience can. Let me see.
Deep throat a cactus.
Yes, and then take a massive bounce penis right up the arse.
That's
I wouldn't put it that way because you never know when, a casual fan will will get turned on to the expanded universe.
Yeah, that's true. All right, readjust my previous statement for Disney executives.
Yeah.
I just like telling people to deep throat a cactus.
I've never done that.
I wouldn't recommend doing it, but
I wouldn't
unless
either.
you're someone that I don't like, but that's okay.
Well, I suppose if you dethorn it.
Well, people do eat them, so why not?
Actually, tequila is made from fermented cactus juice.
Exactly. So people eat them. Some people drink them.
Actually, tequila might not be available anymore in a few decades.
Yeah, aren't we running low on tequila and a bunch of other stuff?
Well, because the cactus that tequila is made from is endangered now. Because
of course it is.
Tequila.
Because people drink too much tequila.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I got a question for you, Badger. I know that there are a few people who think that you can leave Phantom Menace off from the rest of the Star Wars movies and still have a good storyline. What do you think of that?
I think you could. Yeah. I also think you don't have to. I enjoyed the Phantom Menace at the time. I acknowledge there are some issues, but some of it's pretty good, and there's Qui-Gon in it.
Yeah. I must admit, Qui-Gon is awesome.
Also, without Jar Jar being so annoying in the Phantom Menace,
who's the one who's drinking here, Ring?
That level in Battlefront 1 where you just mow down a bunch of Gungans wouldn't have been as fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun actually. I did have that game for the PS2, and I did enjoy the hell out of that particular
And we
mission.
also went at Pod Racer, which actually was kind of fun at the time too.
You can get it on Steam now.
What, Pod Racer?
Yeah, the game.
Oh,
the original
really?
game. Yep.
Oh wow.
Now, another thing you have is the Mandalorian. During the Mandalorian, one of the mercenaries that the Mando works with for a little bit asks him if he's a Gungan under his helmet, and they all have a good giggle about that. So you wouldn't have that as well.
Yeah. So yeah, two good things came out of the Phantom Menace. Darth Maul. Okay, three good things. Darth Maul, Qui-Gon Jinn, and shitting on Jar Jar.
See, I actually don't mind Jar Jar as a character. I've said this before. I think he provides an element of comic relief. And I love the whole concept of Darth Jar Jar.
Yeah, he also provided one of the most hilarious conspiracies ever, that people think that he is the ultimate Sith.
Right, I'll be back shortly.
And it's scared off
I mean, there is certainly elements that there is certainly good evidence to suggest that was one of the ideas that was going through George Lucas's head.
There is. That's one of the things. It's one of the theories. It's theory, but it also is one of the theories that has a lot of stuff backing it up. That it does. Shit, they could have done that.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of Darth Jar Jar.
I do too. I really wish
do.
he'd gone through with it. I think he missed an opportunity.
I did
Because
as well because the character's so annoying and so inept.
and it would have
it would have been
explained so much about the character.
Like,
exactly,
he
like
ju-
just him.
Had he
being
ended up being
faking it.
Darth Plagueis, and we'd ended up, I know Badger's going to go nuts about it because Darth Plagueis doesn't look anything like that in the expanded universe. Yes, but this was before Darth Plagueis actually appeared in the expanded universe, so he could have looked however they fucking wanted. You know, at that point, it was up to George Lucas what he did. So if that had ended up being the case, that Jar Jar had been Darth Plagueis, and he was part of the whole plan and everything, and then you see that Palpatine takes it over after killing Darth Plagueis, that would have made the whole mythos even deeper.
So
Yes, it would have.
No, actually, I think it would have been better if Darth Jar Jar was a secret apprentice.
Or a secret apprentice, yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Either way around, it doesn't really matter, but it would have been so much better than what we ended up with, because we ended up with this character who was front and center for the first episode and then pushed to the background because he wasn't liked by the public. And I think it's very obvious that Lucas let public opinion drive his narrative.
But that's my thing, though.
In a way he probably shouldn't have done.
No, like with everyone disliking Jar Jar that much, if he'd have went forward with that, that would have just added to the dislike of him, or just to his character. Like, he's so inept, he's so dislikable because he's so stupid, and then find out that he's basically this mastermind would have been amazing.
Yeah,
it would have, and people go, "Oh, now we hate him," but for an entire different fucking reason.
Yeah,
and I think it would have worked. Would have worked.
He could have been the Dolores Umbridge of Star Wars.
He could have been, but there's no point in time where you actually
better
liked
than
her.
Dolores Umbridge, because I fucking hate that character.
Oh, I hated her too. She was so horrible. Or with Disney now, since they do a lot of the characters that that's the bad guy. Who'da thunk it?
Yeah. And Badger's wandered off, and I really want his input. You know, what does he think of Darth Jar Jar?
I tried to get them to talk about that theory whenever Amanda had her May the 4th be with you stream. And they're like,
don't talk about Jar Jar with Amanda. She hates him. She legitimately hates Jar Jar.
Well, no, I asked them what their favorite Star Wars theory is, because there's a lot of other theories aside from just that, and no one mentioned theories. Like, I want to hear theories. I want to hear stuff that people like dumb shit that people believe about this series.
Or
I wish I could pop up what people said, but what Nikki has said in the chat, Star Wars needs an alternative timeline where Jar Jar really is a Sith, and I would support that. I would so be in with Disney taking a leaf out of Marvel's book and doing a what if series.
Yeah.
Animated. You don't have to do it live action, but a what if Star Wars series. What if Jar Jar was the Sith? Was a Sith?
Or heck, like,
sorry guys, I have to take a phone call briefly.
What if Disney had never hired fucking Ryan Johnson? That's what we need. Sorry, we weren't going there.
Let's
Sorry, but
not talk about that.
Ryan
I want
Johnson
Badger's opinion on Darth Jar Jar.
No.
How can I put this politely? Ryan Johnson is an absolute fucking disaster. He just.
What is it with people being last name Johnson being complete Johnsons, basically?
Brian Johnson is okay, not so much Ryan Johnson.
He's like what happened to Alderaan, basically. Or if you want to go into the expanded universe, he's like the old Sith thought bomb. He just fucking annihilates all sentient life within like a 1,000-mile radius of himself.
Well,
So,
shall we go back to the other question about what do you think of Darth Jar Jar?
I'm not quite done. He's absolutely despicable. And,
I'm trying to make you save this for tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Sunday night.
Yeah. So Death Star jokes are aren't allowed for Alderaan reasons.
What about looking for love in all the wrong places?
Darn, you relate.
But I had a Death Star joke coming up next.
I was just thinking if we had a stream between One Ring, Chris Shelton, Bionic Dance, and a few the dad jokes would be.
I would love that. I like the dad jokes. Do you keep them in your database, by the way?
The database.
Yeah, the database.
Some people call him Roundhead Johnson because his head is strangely round. So I reckon that his head should just be the Death Star, and then the rebellion should just go in and blow him up.
Would they go in through a nostril or an ear?
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
I think it would be a nostril.
Okay.
And then they come out the ear because there's nothing in there.
Seraphim? See, I keep my jokes in the deli because I like them nice and cheesy.
I like that. That's good.
All right,
That's
so
a good
back
one.
to the other question, Badger. Darth Jar Jar.
What about him?
What do you think of the concept? Do you think it would have been? Do you think the prequels would have been better if had Lucas stuck with that and gone down the whole route of Darth Jar Jar? We could have hated him for an entirely different reason.
Possibly, but then you could end up sort of fighting Jar Jar, fighting Yoda, and that would just be absolutely ridiculous.
It would be. But that
But it
would
would have
add
been
to it.
hilarious.
Yeah. I actually.
If it was done very subtly with Jar Jar kind of in the background and manipulating things, but a little bit more prominently than it was actually done, then maybe. But if it was done with Jar Jar doing the Palpatine cackle, I don't think so.
Well, no. I mean, Jar Jar wouldn't have been Palpatine, so. I mean, there was always. I mean, Palpatine was Palpatine, so I like the idea of. Although you did suggest he could have been the secret apprentice, but I like the idea that he was maybe Plagueis, and we would have got to see Palpatine kill him, which would have been kind of cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
I would like to see.
And then people would have cheered. You would have actually felt a good thing for Plagueis because he killed.
Well, that's the thing, because again, like that would have added to the hatred of him, because most fans hate him because he's so fucking stupid, and then you add the fact that he's fucking evil.
Well,
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry,
I
I'm trying to watch my
say,
language.
like
Why?
I
don't
remember,
Reasons.
I remember that, the way or that he was a bit somewhat problematic because if I remember right, there were concerns that Lucas leaned on some specific stereotypes when creating Jar Jar.
So there might have been a Hollywood backlash to him actually creating the character as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know about that part.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised though.
Like kind of,
Yeah, I wouldn't
part of the
either.
way, part of the way, Jar Jar like talks and kind of the way he dresses a little, kind of harkens back to some old vaudeville stereotypes of African
Oh,
American.
look who's here.
Oh, okay. But that's also like people just making a jump, because I don't think he would have actually done that as the thing or on purpose. Like he might have subconsciously done it. But
Yeah.
people are acting like if you do that stuff, you're doing it on
Like,
purpose to
well, I mean-
hurt people's feelings.
Yeah, but look
But
at
it's
the
an alien.
Trade
I mean-
Federation
Yes.
people. Look at the Trade Federation people, though. You know,
Jeez.
they're
He's more of a
basically.
Sith Lord than a Skywalker, dear. Well, I think I would pick the
Yeah,
Sith code over
yes.
the Jedi code, but as you can see by looking at me, I am in fact a Mandalorian.
This is the way.
That you do give off Mandalorian vibes, so
Yeah.
that's true.
You see what
Yeah,
nerdy
I'll go with
here,
that.
Packer.
I see it. I wasn't commenting.
And besides, I mean, what is ultimately any more offensive about the way that Jar Jar speaks than Yoda?
Jar Jar Spinks.
Jar Jar
Spinks.
But how is that more offensive than Yoda?
I guess because there's no subtype or stereotype of people that do talk like Yoda does. Like
There's
people
the
think
small
that
green
Yoda's
people
thing
that
is like
live down the
completely
shop.
new and
Well, Yoda's is
What about the
kind of
small
like
green people that live behind the
Ben
shop?
Riddle's sort of way of speaking,
Yeah.
rather than a, Jim Crow vaudeville kind of stereotype.
But is that the speech of? I mean, I'm an Australian, so is that legitimately the speech that was used for the vaudeville?
it has been used that way for some vaudeville stereotypes of Black people. So
Yeah.
yes, that's a legit concern. But again, I don't think that if he did that, one, it wasn't offensive because people are way too easily offended, and I don't think he even did it like consciously. Like it's something like, oh, like this is an alien. This alien must speak another way.
Yeah,
I
and it
think
wasn't
it's
like it was
just a case
particularly
of,
Jar Jar. The whole race structured their language that way.
Exactly.
And
I
you
think
talk to
it's just
people
a
who
case of-
speak a foreign language and then translate it into your language, it does come out differently.
I think
People will
it's just a case
structure
of
words.
I want to
Nerdy
make my alien
trolling
sound
you hard
alien.
here.
I want to make my alien sound alien. I will just give each of them a vague, weird accent and a weird affect to their voice. And oh shit, this one happens to have come out a bit like this other thing.
Yeah,
that too.
exactly.
And then I also think the speech pattern was also because basically every single time they do something with Star Wars, they need something that appeals to the children. So Jar Jar's speech patterns were supposed to appeal to the children. Like children think it's funny. Children liked it. Children thought it was funny. Children thought it was cute.
Yeah.
And the some of the slapstick wasn't too bad, but like the bathroom humor with Jar Jar, I couldn't really get on board with that because
Again, that was
I
to appeal to
thought-
children, basically.
well, yeah, but I mean, even in the original Star Wars, where you had comedic elements and to appeal to children, Lucas didn't really go for the bathroom humor.
No.
I thought
Well,
the
that's because
battle
bathroom
droids-
humor wasn't that popular back then. Bathroom humor got to be where it was more mainstream and more popular around the time that that movie was released.
See, I think the battle droids had better slapstick than Jar Jar a lot of the time, and that's
I think
just
they
in
were,
the
I
Phantom
think they were
Menace.
more annoying than Jar Jar. I'm going to go on
That's
record.
just
that
in
I
the
stand
Phantom
by that.
Menace that I think. That's just in the Phantom Menace that I think they did the battle droids well. In after that, I think it became just they became just comic relief and had no threat anymore because they were. They tried to make them too funny and meant they were no longer threatening because they're supposed to be this big metal menace of remote controlled soldiers that they all move uniform. That it doesn't matter how many of them you kill, they can always just make more. And then suddenly they're just
the whole Roger and bullshit.
Well,
I mean, they're
Battle Droid
robots.
falls
Why
off
do
a
they
cliff
need to
and the
talk
other
to
one's
each
just
other?
going- The other ones are, Sergeant, get back here.
When you say you're Roger, but you're not Roger.
See, I like the Roger, but I
Yeah, I think
only
they-
like the Roger
Oh,
as
there's
done
solution.
See, if
If
they're
it
going
was
to go
done now, if I was writing it, I would have put in a gender identity joke. Somebody said Roger, and go, it's not Roger, it's Raylene. just so you have a robot. Don't
honest.
misgender me.
Or you could kind of combine that and like an airplane joke and like, don't call me Roger.
To be honest, if they're going to go down the whole Roger thing, I'd as sooner they just like had like fucking Sergeant Major Zero. Quite frankly, you know.
I just like the thing where
And they're robots. Why do they even need to talk to each other?
Yeah.
right. Let me find this.
Sorry, I don't know how many people got the Sergeant Major Zero reference or not, but
Yeah, it was a bit like Jay's one.
No, I don't think I have something.
And Wes, it's not that they can't shoot anything; it's that all the protagonists have incredibly high AC due to.
anyone
plot
remember
armor.
this?
That's true. So
Anyone
true.
remember this?
No.
Terrorhawks. It's a thing back in the 80s.
All right, I'm gonna put a link in the thing, but I can't share it with sound. So if somebody could do that, that'd be pretty
Throw it up.
Well, I'll try.
I can, Jeff, if you want me to do it.
There we go.
I have no
I'll-
idea how this thing works, so I can't do anything.
Is that what you just put in the chat right now? Okay.
You want me to do it, Jeff?
I've
I've got two screens, so it's easier for me.
I'll give it a try, Jen. If I can't do that, and then I'll let you do it.
No worries.
I just feel like I need to practice at this stuff. Okay. Can I share the screen on this, or I'm not going to get taken down for this or nothing, am I?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, you just do the screen share with sound thing, Jen, and it'll do it.
Okay,
Yeah,
hold
I
on.
can
This
do
thing.
Jeff's doing it, so.
Do you hear that all right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Okay,
like.
I think I've seen enough of the
we've
dancing
got it.
droids.
Oh, hold on. Sorry, Badger.
I like the battle droids as they're done in the Phantom Menace. So they're just, they're all this uniform army of mechanical menaces, and then in the other films they're just kind of silly. But as they're done in the Phantom Menace, I think they're quite effective.
Yeah.
Oh, Seraphim, Badger, you were in that stream when I shared this privately with Dave the other day, weren't you?
Mhm.
DKJ's video.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, I thought, Jen, did you see it?
I think
Yeah,
I have,
I've seen
yeah.
One with about JM Truth working for SpaceX.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen it. You showed it to me after
All right, yeah.
the
I
Dave
wasn't
show the
sure
other night.
if you'd seen it. I wasn't sure if you'd seen it or not.
Yeah. You sent it to me when we were talking the other night after
I laughed.
Dave's quiz.
I thought that video was hilarious.
It was.
It was very well done.
How about you, Ring? Have you seen that one or not? Or...
No.
Okay.
You'll have to send you a link.
That is very much how things have been recently, though. Just when you say Roger, but it's not really Roger.
I said that earlier, but still.
I know. That's it's just popped back in my head. It's the picture of the battle droid just sitting on the floor holding his head, just like.
But now, like
Say-
tonight at work,
say
I'm have
Roger,
to
Roger.
try not to tell when like people like, "Oh, how are you doing tonight?" Instead of saying, "I'm doing great," which I have to lie and say I'm doing great. I'm just saying I'm Roger, and see if they know
Yeah,
it.
just-
I'll just send you that. I'll just send you that YouTube link, Ring. It's fucking hilarious.
Work was
There's
horrible
one
last night.
particular-
Someone made fun of my accent.
That's
Who
no
want
fun.
to do that?
I don't know. They were mean about my accent. It made me sad.
See, there's one particular bit in the Phantom Menace that I really enjoy, and I like how the droids talk in the Phantom Menace because they're all monotone. They don't, they're droids. They're not supposed to have they're battle droids. They're not supposed to be cuddly. So they're
Yeah.
all monotone. And there's just one bit where there's two kind of talking over each other as the Queen and her security peeps attack that little square with the tanks in it. And you hear the monotone, but there's another monotone at a different pitch, and they're both saying kind of the same thing, which is "There they are, fire." And you just hear the pitches kind of interplay with each other. It's like "There they are, fire."
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know why that particular bit appeals to me.
I just realised, guys, we're kind of coming up on about 90 minutes now. And, you know, so I don't want to quite keep this as going as long as Six Pack went today.
Oh, no.
No. So I'm thinking of maybe bringing this to a close. So I don't know if people want to just chill themselves out before and see what they've got coming up in the next week or so. Seraphim, you're not really on YouTube, are you? But I'm sure you'll be on Dave's channel at some point during the week, I'd have thought.
Not sure. Since the rest of the week I'm working. I do post art on my YouTube now. Just me drawing.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm getting a new tablet this week. Yay!
Someone put Seraphim's link in the chat before I do. So
I'll have to go hunting. Well, actually, it might be in my list. I don't know. Did I show you the other day?
I know Amiga has it.
All Amiga can do it then.
Yeah.
Amiga's best shield.
Amiga's been absolutely brilliant with that today. But is that Seraphim official or what? Nice.
It's the Indigo Llama.
There you go. It's in there. Miga's done it.
Thank you, Miga. So please go give
Miga.
please go give Seraphim a sub. I just realised I'm not sub to Seraphim, so I'm going to sub to Seraphim right now.
I'm pretty sure I am.
Mr. Badger, sir, do you have anything coming up in next week?
Well, as you all know, I am the Bad-Tempered Badger. I talk about Star Wars and occasionally other things on the internet. You can find me on YouTube, Twitter, Gab, Minds, and Pornhub, and BitChute, actually. And if you want to come on my channel for a lovely chat, message me on the Twitter, or you can email me at badger@cock.li.
And I'll just look, Amiga's ahead of the game here already, so
in the next day or so, I should have another nature video going up.
Cool.
Oh, that reminds me. I need to message you so we can set up a time for me to go on your channel.
Oh, yes. Jen should do that as well.
I will message you when I can think of something to talk about.
Yeah, do that.
One ring, my friend.
I think we should have a discussion after all the other Star Wars stuff is over about how Disney could have done Star Wars better.
I have a whole thing on my channel about that, which I could refine and talk about in more detail.
We don't wish it to be longer than the new Star Wars trilogy.
You've already suggested it now, so it's too late for that.
It's could very
Apparently,
easily
I'm alone. I would gladly
Right.
sit through that just because I love his voice.
Well, actually, I'm going to ask Ring to shill himself, seeing as I think we may have given a little bit of a teaser for Media Musings at Sunday.
Yeah, so I'm One Ring 42. I when I do edited videos, I talk about how atheist stuff and how Christians interact with media. On Sundays, I do Media Musings, usually at 8 a.m. Montana Standard Time. All this month, in honor of May the 4th, has been Star Wars Month, and we are coming up to the Disney Star Wars movies. And next week, we will be doing a Star Wars one-shot run by Jen, who is my co-host on Media Musings.
Yeah.
Also, every Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon, because it's 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Daily Atheist, I run Atheist D&D. And unfortunately, I don't have very many new edited videos, but there is something I'm working on that I'm hoping to get together soon. the clickbait title is how atheists or how D&D disproves God.
Oh yeah.
Oh, now that sounds
Interesting.
really interesting.
Yeah.
So, Jen.
Okay, well, I think I've talked about it so much that everybody must already know that Navadia and I are going to be interviewing Dr. Carl Kruseniski on, it'll be Sunday night for those in the US, Monday morning for us in Australia. It's 7 a.m. for me, so that'll be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Or like, what's that for you guys? Midnight if you're in the UK. Sorry, guys. But we had to do the time that fitted Dr. Carl. Dr. Carl is like an Australian version of Bill Nye. Only he wears Hawaiian shirts. So
it's like Bill Nye with the dress sense of Kent Hovind.
Yeah, that was how Chris described him.
Yeah.
A lot more intelligent than Ken Hovind, though. A lot more.
Yeah.
It's going to be a really good show.
You might have to tell him about Ken and say why Hawaiian shirts might not be such a good idea, but not on stream. Maybe just
off the stream. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, next week, Jen Aldrich and I are doing a show on Thursday night. I think it'll either be 8:30 p.m. or 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we will have we've got Shannon Q, Aaron Ra, and Jimmy Snow on, and we will be talking about why people will deny science to support their beliefs. It should be a really, really good discussion. We're really looking forward to that. And also during the week, I've got Cullen and Shay on from I never pronounced the name of their channel, but they have a channel that talks about trans issues. I'm having them on to raise their voices. That should be really interesting. Most people will probably remember Shay as Atheist Rationale, so she's pretty awesome. And yeah, that should be a lot of fun.
Okay. Well, obviously, I'm me or whatever. You're watching my channel. I don't think I really need to chill myself out here. However, I'm just waiting for this to appear in the live chat here, and I will share this in a second. I am continuing my series this Sunday with Hissy. Ring, do you know Hissy at all? You come across her?
Yeah, I'm fairly acquainted. Acquainted with her.
Your wifey, as she likes to be known. It's a link to her channel. Hissy and I are taking this in turns every Sunday. We're doing a stream. We're going through the Asterix books. We're having a lot of fun doing it, despite some of the problematic cartoons in that we've come across over the last few weeks. It's still something we're having an awful lot of fun with. Just obviously having a little bit of a look at the humour of Asterix and looking at it from a historical context. As Hissy is very big into the history of that period, and that's kind of what she's all about. So, cheers to me. I've shared that already, but Hissy is criminally under-subbed. Please go and sub to her channel.
Which actually reminds me, once I get my schedule back under control, me and Hissy will be are hoping to get back on going through the Story Keepers.
Oh, cool. You're gonna cut it into smaller sections so that you don't get in trouble this time.
Yeah. But I did manage to cut it down to the just the bit where we covered the intro, and YouTube was fine with that. So if you want a primer of what that will kind of look like, it's on my channel.
Cool.
Brilliant. Yeah. So I believe so. It'd be, I think, it'd be 1 o'clock. I think it's 1 o'clock Sunday UK time that I'm doing this with Hissy. Then, sort of not long after that, if not directly after that, Ring will be doing Media Musings. It's working out quite well thus far the way we're doing this. It's almost a lead-in show. I view the Asterix stream is also kind of a lead-in show to Ring's Media Musings at the moment. So that's kind of what I got going on. Otherwise, guys, I think we're going to sign off now. Great conversation earlier on Atheist Past and Heretical's channel. If you weren't there for that, go back and watch it. It's a long old stream, but it was
it's so worth it.
One. Cheers, Nerdy. By the way, yes, Hissy. By the way, on the Asterix stuff, Hissy was very enamored with Dogmatics.
Yeah. I like Dogmatics. He's so adorable.
I was trying to not say anything about that during the stream until she brought it up because I wanted to see if she noticed the dog.
Dogmatics is so cute. Oh my
Dogmatics is wonderful. He is the best thing. He's one of the best things in the Asterix books. So otherwise, I'm going to sign off, guys. So we shall see you all later. Salute.
Bye.
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 Bye.